What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G. I'm coming at you all the way live. I'm in your space. I'm in your face. And I'm definitely blessed to be here this morning. I woke up, ladies and gentlemen. I woke up. It is June 12th, 2026. It's 7 a.m. here in the great state of Mississippi. And today started out wonderful. Today I woke up around 4:30 a.m. and I was thinking to myself, what is the next phase of what we're doing? Because we have our live at 5. We have our in the heat of the night when we go live in the evening, 10:30, 11 o'clock discussions. Time to time. It's hit and miss. Trying to lock in the consistency of that, which is very important. I talk about that all the time. Being consistent in catching that groove. And so this morning, I said to myself, self, I need to be a lot more productive in this content creation space. And not productive for the masses, because you all know me well enough now, anyone that's been a part of what we do. I jump on this screen and I voice my opinions and I talk about various things because that's what I choose to do and I want to do because I want to bring notice and recognition and shine a very bright light on things that are going on in Mississippi. Because I believe in Mississippi. I believe in this state. I believe in the people of Mississippi. I believe that our efforts in the direction that we're working towards, and when I say the direction we're working towards, I'm talking about the people that are in my circle. Because I can't account for everyone in the state and surrounding states. But the individuals that I've locked arms and elbows with to move forward in a positive manner, to put forth a positive message, although it's all propaganda, yes, it's all opinion, it's all individuals giving their insight or input into whatever the situation may be. I know that our cause, I know that our movement and our motion is a direct reflection of our moral code, our intellectual abilities to think about the future. Not to say that we might not even be here, but in the future and for future generations, we're preparing a table Sustainability. We talked about sustainability a little bit last night. And that table that I speak of is for anyone who wants to sit at that table and is willing to add to that table. And so we talked about individuals being part of your circle and having them go through various tests and being tried and being put to the fire. The iron is being put to the fire simply because you can't just allow anything or anyone to be a part of your work process, your work order, your success model. If the intention is invalid. And only you can determine that because only you know the people that you deal with. I can't give you that part of the scenario because I don't know your particular circumstance. But what we do know is that if you apply certain techniques in your push to succeed, in your day-to-day, then the nonsense, the excess noise, it fades away and they fall to the wayside because they are not going to be consistent. They're not ready to execute and be a part of a real vision. You say, that's an individual situation. They've decided to go down their own road. And you definitely let them go. You're not begging anyone to stay around you to hold you down and waste your time. And nothing against their ideas or visions and wanting to spread their wings. But being committed and disciplined to what you're doing means, hey, I can't look at that idea and say, hey, maybe that's a better way and go in that direction because you're distracted. Or you see something, oh, wait a minute. What am I doing wrong? Why are they falling to the wayside and leaving my side? Maybe that's the direction I need to go in. Don't fall for the trap. Don't fall for the trap. All right? So we're going to get it in. We're going to hit it. And I'm going to sit there and give you guys some things to think about. And we're going to come back. We're going to come back and we're going to address those things. We're going to address them because it's going to give you an opportunity to bounce it around in your mind, go research some information, and let's hold each other accountable in terms of how we think about what's going on. All right? And this applies to business. This applies to sustainability. And we were talking about a little bit last night. The conversation kind of went in a different direction. It was a great conversation, Terry, Damon Vega, that we had. All the conversations that we engage in are enjoyable to me because, like I said, I don't do this like it's work. But content creation isn't something that you just jump off into. You have to study. You have to learn how to edit. You have to learn audio. You have to understand, marketing and what works not for the masses, but what works for you. Because once you define what works for you, right, then if people gravitate towards it, then fine. One thing you can't do is try to push or sell yourself to people and get them to buy into it if you don't believe in it yourself. So the first order of business is not to sell. Stop trying to sell. Stop trying to make it transactional. Everything you do, every soundbite is you wanting them to buy into something. Buy you this, buy you that. Hey, I've got the perfect idea. Man, no, actually you don't. Because you don't know their particular situation. Now, if I can offer some assistance in regards to what I've gone through in my life, and it applies to some things that you may be going through in your life, well, maybe you can reach out to me and we can have a consultation and we can see where some things may align and I may be able to assist you, but our problems aren't identical, but we can relate to one another. Within that, then I'm giving you an opportunity to see how I overcame a situation or how I resolved a situation that I was dealing with in my business or in my personal life. And maybe you can apply it to yours. Tweak it and find a happy medium to push through and push forward. But it's all about support. Our support network is more vital and that human resource that we seem to forget about because AI, artificial fake intelligence, that means it's not real intelligence, is driving the narrative of the day. We talked about carpe diem the other day, seizing the day. How are you seizing the day? When you're not taking an opportunity to learn these tools, to learn how to program, to learn the systems that are put in place for you as a content creator for you to succeed. I jumped headfirst into it. And I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still trying to figure out how to use Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, LinkedIn. I'm still trying to figure it out. But at the same time, I will not allow it to defeat my purpose and my intent to get my business model out to the world, just on display. And those that feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, that's what I need in my life. Now, can I sit here in a Brooks Brothers suit, clean shave, or a tailor-made suit with the ticker tape pockets and the ascot and the pocket sash, the cufflinks and look smooth and I'm already a good-looking individual. But that would just add to it, right? But you see, at the same time, on the other side of that, I have no problem with getting sharp, getting dressed, getting ready to go. But for me to sit there and think that I'm going to do that every day on a platform, because I'm on this every day, as though that's going to change what it is that I say, as though the clothes make the man. No. I don't know how you're thinking about it that way. And if my aesthetic, if my appearance is what deters you, because I'm not in the right uniform, right? For you to say, I can believe in that individual when he talks about X, Y, and Z, then that means that you haven't done the research. You haven't done or followed up or looked into the backstory, or you don't want to because my appearance doesn't fit your narrative of someone that can show you success models or principles to assist you in your business. Well, if that's the case, then I'm not your cup of tea, and I understand that. I can appreciate that. But there are a lot of people in sharp dress suits that are sitting there ready to bend you over, my friend. Not knocking them. I'm just saying. And you can rest assured, anyone that I've done business with, or I have a relationship with, or I've held counsel with, can tell you, number one, I'm a solutions-based individual. I like to find the solution to the problem. I will outwork anyone, knowing that I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm just improving on what it is that I enjoy doing. I work hard at what I do. That's everything. I fall short. I'm not saying I'm perfect. That isn't what I'm saying. My comment is that I will outwork you. I'm self-motivated. I believe in myself that much. I believe in what I'm doing that much. And I sacrifice my time, my efforts, my energies by hosting conversations with individuals that are looking for a way and never buy the product. And what is the product? I'm the product. I'm the brand. I am the resource. What do you mean by that, G? Well, okay. The guy that can get you through the door, the individual that can help you with marketing, media, promotions, bookings, take an idea from out of the ether into reality and walk you through the steps of how to get it done. Yes, I'm that person. I've been that person for quite a few celebrities and individuals and assisted them in rising the ship and still participate. I just don't sit there and talk about it because it's work. It's a job. It's what I do. So when you say, how can you show me what I need to see in order for me to believe you, G, that you can assist me and bring me and my business to the forefront? Well, number one, that's not my job. That's your job. But what I will do is give you a great example of how to do that based on what I've done, based on what I've studied, based on what I've observed from other successful individuals, research and study. And then we begin to apply the same methods into your situation to right the ship. Now, if you get off of the track while we're moving along the way. Yes, you can always get back on the track, but understand that if you're not committed, dedicated, and focused, then anytime someone comes and whispers something into your ear, you're going to sway. Because I'm not trying to convince you of what it is that I do or how I can assist you. That isn't my job either. So let's talk about it, right? Let's go through a couple of pillars, a couple of tenets, things that, when it relates to business and sustainability, and we're going to come back and we're going to hit these points. Each pillar needs its own show, basically. But I'm going to give you the rundown so that you can go back, research it for yourself, and let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it. So that I'm not just talking to you. We're engaged in the fundamental principle of how you have open dialogue about a subject. Right. So pillar one. And we're going to run through these pretty quick. I'm going to get into it and we're going to come up out of it. And then, like I say, later on, we'll come back and discuss. Right. Different show, different time. When we're talking about business and sustainability and the model, the working model. All right. So, pillar one, financial sustainability. The purpose is to ensure that the organization remains profitable and financially stable. Okay. So, your key strategies here: diversify revenue streams, maintain positive cash flow, establish emergency reserve funds, reduce unnecessary operational expenses, invest in scalable technologies. Now you see, you know me. I'm ready to sit there and go one by one with these topics in the key strategy section, right? But I can't because it's just going to be too expensive. Each one of these has to be broken down, and we have to talk about it. And then within that, you're looking at your success metrics, right? Revenue growth, your profit margins, cash reserves, customer lifetime value, and debt to income ratio, right? That's pillar one. Purpose. Okay. Go back, reflect, think about what I've said, take each item, break it down, get a better and true understanding of each section, and then we move forward. Pillar two, operational sustainability. The purpose is to create efficient systems that can function consistently as the organization grows. I'll repeat that. You want to create an efficient system that can function consistently as the organization grows. All right. Your key strategies. You have to document a standard operating procedure, your SOP. What is your standard operating procedures? These things are important. And I'm not going to sit there and debate it with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm just telling you these are things that I want you to start thinking about, integrated into what it is that you have going on, and let's talk about it on another day. I'm just giving you the skeleton. I'm giving you the sustainability model. Automate repetitive tasks. Does that make sense? To automate repetitive tasks, things that happen consistently over and over again. Automate those things. That increases your efficiency so that you're not stuck doing menial tasks that can be set on autopilot. Think about it. Improve workflow efficiency. You see how all of this is pipelining into being effective, efficient, and consistent? Establish quality control measures. That's the one thing that you see how I got to stop myself because I want to talk about each one of these points, but it's going to be all day if I do. But quality control measures, it's important. Is it working? If it's not working, what do we need to do to fix it? If it's something that's arbitrary and it's not going to be something that we need in this particular place, how do we upgrade it or eliminate it? Quality control. Are you giving the consumer, the customer, the end user the best possible product that you can put on the shelf? And when I say shelf, I don't necessarily mean a shelf per se. It could be a shelf, but am I putting my best foot forward? Am I giving you everything to make you walk away as an end user, a customer, a consumer, and say, I've gotten what I've paid for? And I'm happy and I'm content. This deal was successful because I'm walking away with the win. And then you continually and continuously elevate your processes. So the success metrics, productivity levels, increase. Project completion rates, increase. Cost per unit of service could possibly decrease, which is better for your end user because now they're saying, hey, this is affordable. Or it increases because of what it is that you're doing. You don't hear about Rolls-Royce advertising on television. The prestige and the notoriety of the vehicle in itself speaks volumes about what it is that you're going to get once you buy one. Using it as an example, I'm not saying I'm going to get a Rolls-Royce. I'm using it as an example. But you don't have the price tag on it either. When you get ready to walk out the door with it, you already know you're paying a fee. Employee efficiency increases. Customer satisfaction increases. That's pillar 2. Operational sustainability. Pillar 3, human capital. This is paramount and very important. Human capital sustainability. And the purpose is to develop and retain talented employee and leadership. If you're the only employee, then, depending on what the business is, you're a lone gunman. You're doing it on your own. But even if you're an actor or actress, a rapper, a singer, whatever the case may be, yes, you're a standalone act, but you still have a team of individuals around you, or you should have a team of individuals around you who are your employees. And you are the leader of that coalition of individuals because you have people on payroll. So key strategies: leadership, development programs, employee training and certification. That's very important. You have to train people. You can't just assume that people know how to do the job or the job that you want them to do. You have to be able to train them to do exactly what it is that they are set out to do, or what you're needing them to do, so that they can actually do the job correctly and get certified, no matter what it is. Competitive compensation. It works in different areas, but Competitive compensation means that you're paying people for what their value truly is. Now, sometimes you can outpay a situation to individuals that don't deserve it, and you hit a point of diminished returns, and you start to see profit loss because you're paying someone that isn't checking off all the boxes when it comes to being effective, being efficient, being that individual that's going to get the job done. And then the conversion of their work shows and it reflects because you see an increased volume in revenue stream. You see, this is my conversation, this is my talk. Like I'm saying, I don't want to go through or go down this rabbit hole with you. I just want to give you the model right now. Wellness initiatives and succession planning. Who's going to be running things when this person leaves? Who's going to be put in position? Because you want to sit there and work internally. And you want to be able to train people up so that they can hit the next phase and the next level within the organization and not just feel stagnant in a clerical position. Wait a minute, I can sit there and I can come in as a secretary or clerical staff in the HR department, and I can sit there and cross-train and become a general manager one day. The possibility that I've learned the business enough to where they entrust me and say, you know what, we know that you've gone from the mail room and you've worked your way through all of these departments, requisitions, procurement. You've gone into sales. You've gone into hitting the ground. You're out on the street. You've gone through every phase. You've gone through every department. You've been a manager. You've been a general manager. Hey, guess what? We're considering you to be the CEO of the organization because you know the nuts and bolts of how this whole operation works. That's internal upward mobility, a succession plan for your employees that know that, hey, man, he's not just going to, or she's not just going to bump me off for a machine to do my job or bring someone else in, have me train them and elevate them to a position that I want or deserve. You see? So your success metrics, employee retention when you do things like this, training, completion rates are higher. Leadership pipeline strength is stronger because they believe in the business, they believe in the ownership, they believe in where the business is going. Employee satisfaction scores are higher because now it's self-motivated. They're moving and the ebb and the flow of the business is moving because they believe in the business. They believe in the brand. They believe in you. Internal promotion rates. So that increases as well. Why? Because you know that the best of the best and the cream that rises to the top ultimately become the individuals that are spearheading operations and they're heading departments and they all are on the same page. Sustainability model, ladies and gentlemen. Pillar number 4, community and social impact. Purpose, the purpose, building strong relationships with stakeholders and create meaningful community impact. Here are your key strategies. Volunteer initiatives, community partnerships, youth development programs, local vendor engagement, educational outreach. You see and you notice all of these things that we do at certain times, at given times. It's not every day of the week, but my son comes home. He wants to host a camp. That's the outreach. Plays all season. Now it's time to give back to what has given and poured into him. Boys and Girls Club, Kahuku High School, different community impact programs that he's ready to participate, community partnerships, youth development, local vendor engagement, and educational outreach. I'm just giving you an example of what it is that we do every year. I don't just talk about it, we do it. Success metrics: community participation, volunteer hours, partnership growth, local economic impact, and brand reputation. That's the success metrics that you see once you apply the key strategies and you come up with the metrics for community participation, volunteer hours, partnership growth, local economic impact, and brand reputation. Pillar number 5, environmental responsibility. The purpose behind this, and this is very important because we hear about eco-friendly and things of that nature, but there's ways that we can do it without being quote unquote tree huggers, because we all are tree huggers in our own special way. We all have that internal thought and knowing that I have to do something to save my planet, our planet, because this is where I live. And if I continually do things that are going to destroy and disrupt our ecosystem, our atmospheric system, then I have to come face to face with the fact that I'm killing myself. So it is to operate, and this is pillar 5, environmental responsibility, and the purpose is to operate responsibly while minimizing environmental impact. Your key strategies here: energy efficiency programs, waste reduction initiatives, sustainable procurement, waste not, want not, recycling programs, and digital transformation. Success metrics: energy consumption, waste reduction, carbon footprint, resource utilization, and sustainability compliance. And pillar number 6, and I'm going to leave you after this. Pillar number 6, innovation and adaptability. Your purpose: remain competitive in changing markets. You have to remain competitive in changing markets. Things are not going to remain the same. Things change, and you have to be ready and willing and able to change with the times, but remain competitive in the process. I'm not saying you have to change your whole working order. I'm saying you have to make a shift so that you don't fall behind the 8 ball. You have to be intellectually savvy enough to know when to make that shift, and you have to pay attention to the ever-changing market in the industry, in the space and sphere, in the niche that you're in. So your key strategies in terms of how you do this: research and development. You have to research. We talked about this earlier. You always have to study. You always have to be on the go with learning and wanting to learn. Technology adaptation. You have to learn how to use technology to your benefit. It is not something that is going to hurt or harm you. It is going to benefit you. And how do we sit there and jump off into that? I've been a programmer basically all my life. I started with a TRS-80 and had to open this book and learn how to program and write code to put a dot and make a smiley face and move and color spectrum. I had to learn all of this stuff, and I got really fascinated into it. Making a computer do what you wanted it to do, making the computer say hello, making the little ping pong thing go back and forward just by typing in the code and hitting run on the command prompt. Learning C, learning C++, Fortran, Pascal. These are all program languages, Unix, that are under my belt because I enjoy programming. But they've made it so user-friendly, it's all point and click, that you don't realize that it's just a computer program, ladies and gentlemen. If-then statements, go-to statements. It's not that it's thinking. It's not some quantum physics of human thought that has been integrated into the system. They haven't taken brain matter or plasma and juiced it into a robot. No. They've gotten better in programming the system so that you can see what you want to see and need to see. And behind what you need to see, that mask, that GUI, that graphic user interface, what you see, and on the backside, the binary hexadecimal code that's being used to program this system to do and act in such a way. It's just taking, just like going to the library, taking this, applying it here, and making it work. They don't see the letter A, they see 0010001. You understand? Binary code. So don't get confused into thinking that these machines are just autonomous and they're just brilliant. No, you're the brilliant one. You're the mind that makes it work. And if you don't realize that Google is just a big encyclopedia of everything, supercomputers all around the world that have gathered information. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a bunch of supercomputers in places, but nowadays, you know, when I was working with the DoD, you only had maybe 5 central areas where supercomputers were sitting. In Stennis Space Center, where I was working with the Naval Oceanographic Office, we housed a supercomputer there on that site. And it's just a robotic arm that retrieves data sets and plugs it in and allows you to use that resource information. Now, the data that they were compiling and pulling and get, now that's all military-based data and resource information, but it's in real time, right? But guess what? That machine doesn't work by itself. It has no thought of what it is that is going on. The programmers are the ones who input this data or programming code to tell this computer or machine what to do. So we talked about efficiency earlier, productivity, and assembly line type work. Well, yes, at one time it was a man turning that wrench to put on that door to that vehicle. Now they've gotten it to the point to where a machine can do it. I'm talking about spinning that screw to the point to where it's, you know, I mean, down to the precise turn, twist, the right, everything. It doesn't mean that the car not gonna break down. But they figured out ways to put them together faster. picking up heavy doors, making it easier for you to line it up and then to ratchet down the screws. And you see, so it's a tool. So let me go back over these again with the key strategies: research and development, technology adoption, market trend analysis, customer feedback systems. You've got to figure out a way to get feedback from your consumers, strategic planning reviews. And if you notice in most of my conversation, I'm always talking about strategic planning. I talk about these things because the things that I do and the things that I talk about, I use. I don't just talk about it. I use the systems that I talk about. And you hear me talking with Terry Cherry, and I'm always talking about having a game plan, moving with attention, having a strategic idea and methodology to do things, if in fact you're going to, quote unquote, tear up the system, right? So your success metrics: new product development, market expansion, technology adoption rate, customer retention, and innovation ROI. ROI, return on the investment. I want you to go back, review, study these 6 pillars, and let's have an open discussion and debate. And not even a debate, but a discussion about the topics that I brought to the table. And the sustainability formula is this: sustainability, financial health, plus operational excellence, plus people development, plus community impact, plus environmental responsibility, plus innovation times consistency, because without consistency, sustainability becomes temporary. With consistency, sustainability becomes legacy. So I've given you the formula. I've given you the sustainability formula. So a sustainable business is not simply one that survives difficult times. A sustainable business is one that continuously creates value, develops people, serves its community, adapts to change, and leaves a legacy that extends beyond the current generation. I want to get into that discussion. And if you've listened to this montage of information that I've pushed out to you this morning, and it weighed heavy on my spirit to give it to you this morning because we were supposed to talk about it yesterday. I wanted to get into it yesterday, but today is the opportunity for us to sit there and engage it the way that I want to engage it with you. I want us to go back and discuss these topics, these points, this sustainability model that I've given you. Poke holes in it, beat it up, do whatever. Do whatever it is that you choose to do. But if I've given you some misinformation in what we're talking about today, call me to the carpet. If it's just rhetoric, empty statements that mean nothing, call me to the carpet. Because if in fact you paid attention to what I've given you and you've watched me, you've listened to what I say on a day-to-day basis, because I'm here every day live at 5, then you know that guy follows the same models that he just talked to us about. It's not like he's just giving us some shit and saying, hey, go try this out. No, we can watch him and see that he's doing exactly what he just told us. And I cannot force anyone to work the model. I don't try to. If you want to debate me about it, cool, let's talk about it. You may help me fine-tune my process. I'm not the be-all, end-all, but I know what works for me. So before you get your panties in the wad and you say, that shit don't work, he just talking bullshit, make sure that you're doing something yourself first. Make sure you're doing something yourself first. Then apply what it is that I'm saying, not because I'm saying it, because you're wanting to improve your situation. Take what I'm saying, apply it to your situation for you. When we're talking about sustainability, and see if it doesn't help you improve your situation. For me to sit there and tell you that I didn't just make this up, it's from years of making mistakes and learning a better way to do. A lot of people aren't going to tell you that they fell flat on their face and had to get up and fell flat on their face again and had to get back up and then fell on their fucking back and had to get back up again. They want you to know that everything that they've done has just been uber successful. Well, I'm not that person. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I've bumped my head quite a few times. Because number one, I'm stubborn. Because two, I thought I knew until I went and researched and studied, and I had that euphoric moment. That's where I've been making a mistake. I've been the problem. I was standing in my own way. And I don't know it all. But I damn sure can learn. So instead of complaining about it, instead of bitching and moaning about what someone isn't doing for me, let me go get it. Power concedes to no one. If you want it, and you want it bad enough, before you go try and take it, you better have a strategic plan and a success model and a sustainability model in terms of how you're actually going to go do that. Because you can best believe the person that you're trying to go, or the business that you're trying to go, or the mountain you're trying to climb, it has a plan for you. What do you mean by that, G? Well, go try and climb Mount Kilimanjaro without properly planning to do so. You're not going to make it. Go try to tear down a system without a game plan or any idea of how the system really functions or works. I can assure you, you're going to end up like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. It may sound harsh, and it is harsh. But the truth of the matter is, we're not preparing ourselves for that type of behavior. Why do I say that? Gee, why would you say such a thing? Of course we're ready. No, we're not. We're concerned about aliens. We're concerned about Epstein. We're concerned about Trump. And we're so distracted that we're not even focused on what we need to be focused on. And in my opinion, and hear me, and in my opinion, what's falling to the wayside are our children. The young men and women that are begging for our attention, leadership, insight, skill. We'd much rather write them off as a misguided generation because, you know, they moving around in their hoodies and they pusheisties or whatever the case may be. They're moving around with AR-15s and they got the switches on the hip. What's the alternative? What are we doing to steer them away from that? What options are we providing our youth? And this isn't all the youth, because when we talk in generalizations as opposed to being very site specific. Want me to give you the example? My cousin is a thug. But I don't speak directly to him. I speak about everybody else, but I don't speak directly to him. Hey, little brother, man, what's up, man? I mean, is this how you have to live your life? Is this what you want to do? Man, shit, you know, I got kicked out of school. They're not letting me back in. Okay, have you tried to get your GED? Have you tried to go to trade school? Have you tried to go to the military? Have you taken other routes as opposed to picking up a gun and just walking around in the streets, hanging out in the streets? Because you can best believe you're going to die. Whether you're in prison or someone shoots you. Am I kidding? Am I joking? Am I playing about it? No, a young man just lost his life over a fucking water bottle. Trayvon Martin wasn't doing anything like walking through the neighborhood. George Floyd. Do I have to go through every situation and scenario to make you understand that the deck is stacked against us, but we're stacking the deck even more against ourselves? Because we're not training and preparing our youth for the world. We're letting Grand Theft Auto and video games dictate to them how they're supposed to feel out in the world. As opposed to us wrapping our arms around them. And pouring into them, educating them. But we're so caught up into the hustle and the bustle and trying to survive that we forget the focus. Beautiful song. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. I remember music like that. So we're going to be switching up, changing gears. I talked about it yesterday. We have some very interesting individuals that are going to start appearing on Industry Talk, building their platforms, utilizing our network and our energies and our time and efforts to help grow what it is that they're doing and the messaging that they want to get out to the public and to the people. Yes. I told you when I started this, I have a face for radio. I am not the talking head. I've always been a behind the scenes individual, but when you get to a point to where you have a message that needs to get out to the world, how do you get it out there amongst all of the craziness that's going on and keep a consistent and sound message? Well, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. Reverend Lamont Mitchell, Emily Mitchell, Kiara Smith, Ricky Lewis, Terry Cherry, Jarrell Braswell, Jonathan Shaw. All of these individuals are playing very important roles in terms of where our network is going. Now you begin to see the shapes and faces of different insight, different opinions, and the platform begins to expand. The sustainability of the program begins to expand, and you begin to reach the masses with different individuals with different insights, various points of views, but are professionals in their space. I told you, I was out of my depth with Damon Vega. Yes, we could have a great conversation, but I can't lend you assistance in terms of the mental health side of it. I can be a friend. I can be your partner to sit there and pal around and talk about this stuff. But when it comes to sitting down and having a conversation on the mental health side of it and dealing with the trauma and the PTSD of it, I'm not your guy. But I'm not going to give up hope because I know the people that we can connect you with. Hence, Emily Mitchell, Damon Vega making a connection. Emily says, you know what? I'm about to start my own business. Right? And of course, her counterpart and business partner says, you know what? Which is Kiara Isham. Yes, let's work this model and utilize this opportunity. Start practicing and getting yourself in a position where, hey, man, let's start letting folks know what it is that you do. Two very powerful business leaders in this space. And they've taken the opportunity and they're going to grow it. And of course, inevitably, at one point, they'll have their own platforms, they'll do their own thing, but this is the starting point. This is the catalyst. This is what this is about, right? Jonathan Shaw wants to bring the roundtable talk conversations to the Primetime Network, and we're open for that. These are people with great ideas, and needing an opportunity to get it out to the masses. You don't have to sit there and believe me. You go look at our numbers. Look at the Boss Talk numbers. Look at Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Primetime is our network. We do numbers. Might not seem like it. Industry Talk is a new show that we're starting, and it's starting to do numbers because we're working the model. And to sit there and add the entertainment aspect, the industry talk aspect, the mental health aspect, what Reverend Lamont Mitchell brings to the table, Ricky Lewis as a motivational speaker and author brings to the table. I want to see Bree Milton as well and Angel Williams with their own segments and programs to talk about their books and everything that they're doing. Eventually, you'll see Damon Vega's book, Notes from Behind the Wire, out on the press, because that is what we're building with our family. I just talked to you about the sustainability model. This is not a game. This is what we do. So I came on this morning because if, in fact, we're going to be serious about this content creation thing, I have to give you real, tangible things that you can bite off into, ingest, and actually apply. You know how your body, you eat stuff, your body takes the nutrients and all of the things that it needs to survive, and then the rest that it doesn't need, it transfers it out of your body. That's what we're doing. What's good to your palate? Let's ingest it. Let's take what's necessary. Let's feed and fuel the body, and the rest is waste. Wash, rinse, repeat. Whether you realize it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this thing for an hour and I didn't even realize it. I was supposed to be here for 10 minutes. 10 minutes turned into an hour. Why? Because I'm passionate about this stuff. I'm motivated about it. Thank you, everyone who has joined me this morning. I will be back live at 5. We're getting it in. Remember what we're talking about. Let's get into it. And as always, beautiful people, y'all know with me. It's about health, wealth, wellness. Stay down. What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G. And this is my personal invite to all of you to join me on Industry Talk on the Prime Time Network daily at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I get into great conversations with entrepreneurs, artists, industry leaders, you name it, we bring it to the table. So make sure you tap in with us, lock us in, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we stream on all major platforms. And be sure to visit us at gemsitpublishing.com. This is Industry Talk. Let's get into it.
Motion.